Hi, buenas tardes, amigos. Matt the Greeter, aquí, on my motocicleta. Yeah, so a few days ago we lost Charlie Watts. Most people say, huh? Who? Well, Charlie Watts, if Mick Jagger, Keith Richards, those guys ring a bell, well, Charlie Watts was the one ringing the bells. He was the drummer. He was a jazz dude, right? Played with the Rolling Stones. You know, you might not have heard of his name, and you might not, know a drummer that you prefer, but man, if you like the Rolling Stones, you probably did like Charlie Watts. Take a fresh moment if you're a Stones fan. Even if you're not, go back, just listen to the drumming on some Rolling Stones tracks. Right? Honky Tonk Woman, give me shelter. Take some fresh years. When I became a bass player all those years ago, I had to go back. Rest in peace, Bug. There's a little insectile percussion on my windscreen. Anyway, when I became a bass player, I had to go back in time and listen to all that music that I hated growing up, because I never listened to the bass parts in it. And what I discovered was there was a lot of bass on music that I previously hated that I now absolutely loved and was enamored by and blown away. So, as a bass player, I mean, everybody's important in a band, but as a bass player, I'm sitting right between the drums and the guitar player. So I'm like the mediator or something, you know what I'm saying? So if the drummer and the bass player aren't communicating, we have a problem. If the bass player and the guitar player aren't communicating, it might sound a little off or whatever, but I'm telling you, if bass and drums aren't locked in, you have yourself a problem. You get a tight drummer, a drummer that actually will listen to other members of the band, do whatever you can do to keep that drummer in the band. Rolling Stones had Charlie Watts. Somebody put in the comments below, how long was he the drummer in the Rolling Stones? Decades, right? They found themselves a treasure in Charlie Watts. I've had the pleasure of playing with a number of different drummers. And whenever I play with a new drummer, there's a feeling out period. You don't know each other yet. So I don't know where he's gonna play his fills or do any of that stuff. So you got just let him communicate a little bit, and then kind of step in, play a little bit here and there, make some eye contact. I like to try out a little like musical joke once in a while. So drummer's playing some kind of beat, maybe I'll do a little response on the bass and see if they pick up on it. And I've had a blast playing with new drummers. There's a couple drummers that I wish I still played with. I had pretty good connection with, and but I don't mind playing with new drummers. It keeps me fresh as a bass player. I'm going to give you like a 5-second count. You probably know who my favorite drummer is. Alright, so the countdown starts now. Some of you guys said it before I even finished the sentence. So Neil Peart from Rush. I heard him pronounce his name as Peart, so don't get huffy in the comments. Neil Peart from Rush. When he got stagnant, he'd go away. He'd go somewhere. He'd sit with a new style of drummer. or in a new country and learn some new patterns. Keep those ears fresh. That's exciting as a bass player. To have your drummer come back with a fresh set of ears, ooh. He, halfway through his career, he was a well-established drummer, and decided he needed, well, this is my coworker Amy says, to zhuzh up a little bit. I don't know what that means. I may never use that term again, but so he went and he got drum teacher Freddie Gruber, the great Freddie Gruber, taught Neil Peart, well-established, beloved drummer of the band Rush, Neil Peart, a new grip. Revitalized his career, which was not hurting, by the way. There was nothing ill about his career, but he wasn't where he wanted it, so let's just spruce up those skills. A drummer with a small ego, enormous heart, and ears, and talk about a lyricist too. Who else do I love on drums? Well, you know, I've seen Government Mule in concert a bunch, and Matt Abbs is a great drummer. Matt Abbs is really good. I enjoy his style. There's a lot of distance between his high-end stuff and then the low kick. Oh, so I just like his spacing musically, or percussively. Mike Portnoy, of course. Give me a break. Mike Portnoy has been kicking the doors down forever. Chad Smith, as solid as they come. Everybody's looking at Flea. Everybody's looking at Anthony Kiedis. Half the time you're looking at John Frusciante. Half the time you're worried about him and watching a different guitar player. Who's watching Chad Smith? I'll tell you who's watching Chad Smith. The bass players out there. That's so whenever I would go to a concert, you'd think I'd be watching the bass player, right? Even I'm at Rush. I saw them, 4, 5, 6 times maybe. I wasn't really watching Geddy. Hey, no offense, he's never going to see this video. I was watching Neil. Exciting. Who else do I like on drums? Man, I should have prepared ahead of time. What's up, dude? I like my V-twin on drums. I love the percussive D-cell pop that comes out the back. Paul Motian. I mean, forget jazz drummers. Bernard Purdie. There's a whole. I could go on and on and on about jazz drummers, and I'm not going to do that. Anyway, Charlie Watts, Rolling Stones, my cousin Frank's favorite band. What's up, Frank? Oh, rest in peace, Charlie Watts. Made a lot of people happy over the years, and you're gonna make people happy for a number of years to come, as long as they keep spinning those Stones tunes. All right, guys, Matt the Greeter. I'll check in with you soon. All right, bye.